All right, what's up? Quick tip video. If you've got a hole in textured drywall and you want to patch it, it's pretty easy, right? If it's a small hole, you put some patch on there and wipe it away and the hole is plugged. But what if you've got a larger size hole that you need to sandpaper and to knock all that patch down? So just a quick tip here. Look at that. If we do take the sandpaper to it, it's gonna knock down all that texture and create a pretty unsightly look once it's patched. So instead, you're going to get a washcloth or a rag and get it pretty wet. Apply your patch and make sure it's dry. And instead of sandpaper, you're going to be basically wiping it down like this. It's going to take several passes. You can get aggressive with it, but what is going to happen is it's going to act like sandpaper without knocking down your textured drywall, your popcorn textured drywall there like you see. And it's just going to leave you with a smooth patch exactly the size of your hole. In other words, it's going to save that surrounding drywall texture and look a lot better once you paint over it. This is the drywall patch that I'm using, and as always, I'll put the supplies and materials that I use or reference in this video or other videos down below in the description, but it's pretty straightforward. I prefer the non-lightweight stuff. I like the heavier stuff. And just to reiterate, the issue here, if you've got a small pin size hole, no big deal. It covers it. You can wipe it down while it's still wet and it'll still be plugged. But if you've got a larger size hole, again, you might want to consider using a wet rag just like this. Again, make sure it's nice and dry before you do this. Suppose you could do it when it's a little bit wet, but you might run the risk of unplugging the hole that you just patched, right? So get it nice and dry just like you would if you were going to sandpaper, and then boom, do this and it's a nice finish. Now, as far as replacing the textured popcorn texture on your drywall, that's a completely different story. We're not going to get into that, but they do sell this popcorn can stuff. You could probably give it a little boost if you've got a pretty good size hole and you want to replicate the texture, but that is another topic for another time. So that's my tip. Hopefully this has helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe if you are interested in more tips and do-it-yourself home projects and home product reviews and all kinds of good stuff. Thanks for being with me.